Colt may have just turned a post-surgery pity arc into one of the messiest cheating scandals in recent 90-day memory. What looked like Cortney helping her injured boyfriend heal under her parents' roof has allegedly blown up into a full betrayal storyline. And now fans are saying this breakup didn't just get ugly, it got humiliating fast. According to the latest wave of fan chatter, this relationship didn't just fizzle out, it reportedly detonated the second Cortney went through Colt's phone and found evidence that he had allegedly been cheating the entire time they were together. And once that truth came out, everything seems to have unraveled at once. What makes this hit harder is the setup. Cortney was not just casually dating Colt. Based on the story viewers are reacting to, she was actively helping take care of him while he recovered from knee surgery, and the two of them were staying at her parents' home in the U.S. So in the eyes of a lot of fans, this was not just a boyfriend messing up. This was someone being welcomed into a family space, being supported during recovery, and then allegedly betraying the very person helping him. That's why the reaction online has been so savage. Fans are not treating this like a shocking plot twist, they're treating it like a pattern repeating itself yet again. One viewer basically summed up the mood with the classic line, "When they show you who they are, believe them." And another commenter called Colt a user and a taker, and several others said the same thing in different ways. Whatever mistakes Cortney may have made, cheating is still on the cheater. There's also the visual drama of it all. Viewers pointed out that Cortney apparently told her parents everything, including the cheating allegations, and some fans are especially fixated on the image of Colt being wheeled out after the relationship collapsed. That detail alone made the whole thing feel less like a breakup and more like a total eviction-level implosion. And then came the part that pushed fans over the edge. According to the story now making the rounds, Colt allegedly introduced a new Brazilian girlfriend to the TLC camera crew almost immediately, as if he had already moved on and wanted everyone to know it. That is the piece turning ordinary outrage into full-on fan fury, because to a lot of viewers, it makes the entire situation feel calculated, not just messy, not just selfish, calculated. Now the comment section is split between people saying Cortney ignored obvious red flags and people saying that misses the point entirely. Because even if warning signs were there, fans argue that does not excuse someone allegedly carrying on another relationship while being cared for under his girlfriend's parents' roof. The real tea here is that fans are not even debating whether this is messy. They are debating whether Cortney was naive, manipulated, or simply hoping Colt had changed. Either way, viewers seem convinced this ended exactly the way Colt relationships always do, in chaos. Keep it locked because the next 90-day mess might be shaking up the entire reunion stage. A viral rumor just dropped a possible 90-day tell-all bombshell, and fans are already spiraling over whether Shaun Robinson is really being replaced. This story is moving fast because it taps into something fans have been complaining about for a long time. The tell-alls are supposed to be chaotic, confrontational, and revealing, but more and more viewers feel like they have become too polished, too controlled, and way too easy on the cast. So when a viral post started making the rounds saying Shaun Robinson was allegedly out and Ross Mathews was allegedly in, people did not just react to the names, they reacted to everything those names represent. According to the rumor, Ross Mathews, known for his TV personality, quick humor, and louder energy, could be taking over the reunion seat. And instantly, the comment section turned into a war zone. Some viewers flat out said the franchise needs exactly this kind of shakeup. They argued that Ross might bring humor, unpredictability, and the kind of pushback they feel has been missing from recent reunions. In their minds, the tell-all needs less polite moderation and more actual accountability. But the defense squad for Shaun came in just as fast. A lot of fans pointed out that she is not the real problem, the producers are. Their argument is that Shaun can only ask what the show allows her to ask, and changing the host will not magically fix a format that many viewers already believe is too scripted. Some even said replacing her would be unfair because she has become part of the 90-day formula and still brings a calm, professional presence to a cast that is already one spark away from exploding. That's what makes this rumor bigger than a simple casting change. It has opened up a much deeper debate about what fans actually want from these reunions. Do they want a host who stays composed and lets the chaos unfold naturally? Or do they want someone who actively pokes holes in cast excuses, pushes harder on contradictions, and makes the room uncomfortable in the best possible reality TV way? And then there's the doubt. Not everybody is buying this tea. Some fans were quick to point out that similar host swap rumors have surfaced before, and others questioned whether this is recycled gossip being passed around like fresh news. That skepticism has added another layer to the story, because now the fandom is not just debating whether Ross would be a good replacement, they are debating whether this alleged replacement is even real. Still, one thing is crystal clear. This rumor hit a nerve. Even fans defending Shaun are admitting the tell-all format needs more heat, more follow-up, and fewer easy exits for cast members dodging the mess. So, whether this ends up being true or just another rumor that burns hot and disappears, TLC has already gotten what it loves most: people talking loudly. The spicy part is that fans are not just reacting to Shaun versus Ross. They're exposing how frustrated they are with the entire reunion machine. This rumor became a lightning rod because viewers are desperate for someone, anyone, to finally ask the questions they scream at the screen every season. Don't touch that dial, because the next story takes us from host swap chaos to pure secondhand embarrassment. Kim may have thought she was being playful, but viewers are saying this latest moment crossed straight into cringe territory. The reason this story is catching fire is because it taps into one of the fastest ways a reality TV moment can go sideways: audience discomfort. This was not some huge betrayal reveal or explosive breakup confession. It was something quieter, but in a lot of ways even more painful to watch. Viewers say Kim's behavior around Josh came off overly familiar, overly physical, and way too much for the setting, especially with her son there to witness the whole thing. That is the angle dominating the fan conversation right now. One of the strongest reactions making the rounds came from a viewer who basically said they would never say or do the things Kim does in front of their son, and that she needs to respect maternal boundaries and stop touching Josh. And honestly, that one comment seems to capture exactly why this scene hit such a nerve with so many people. For a lot of viewers, the issue is not that Kim is dating, it is not that she is confident, and it is not even that she is flirtatious. The real problem, according to fans, is that she keeps bringing this very hands-on, hyper-familiar energy into situations where her son is present, and that changes the entire tone. What might otherwise be brushed off as bold or playful suddenly feels awkward, misplaced, and impossible to ignore. Once that interpretation took hold, the criticism snowballed fast. Fans started calling the moment cringe, desperate, and hard to watch. Others said they felt bad for Jamal, who they believe gets stuck in humiliating situations while his mom behaves in ways that leave everyone else visibly uncomfortable. Whether or not that is exactly what happened, that is clearly the perception online. And in reality TV, perception can become the whole story. Josh is catching heat too. Some viewers think he is encouraging the dynamic, or at least not shutting it down, which in their minds only makes the whole thing even stranger. Instead of the audience focusing on one uncomfortable moment, they are now dissecting the chemistry between Kim and Josh more broadly and asking whether both of them are feeding into something that should have been toned down a long time ago. Of course, not everyone agrees with the backlash. There are some viewers defending Kim, saying she's an adult, Jamal is an adult, and people are being way too judgmental about a woman expressing herself. But even among those more forgiving takes, there is still this underlying sense that the dynamic feels unusual. And that may be why the conversation keeps growing. It is not universally scandalous, but it is deeply divisive. That is what makes this such sticky reality TV material. When viewers stop laughing with the scene and start recoiling from it, the mood shifts instantly. Now people are no longer talking about Kim's confidence, they're questioning her judgment. And in the world of 90-day chaos, that kind of reaction can turn a small interaction into a full-blown fandom debate overnight. The spicy part is that fans are split between calling this harmless flirting and calling it a pattern of boundary-blurring behavior. But either way, the audience is no longer just watching Kim and Josh. They are watching Jamal's reaction and reading the entire situation through that lens. And just when you think the awkwardness has peaked, the next story brings a whole different kind of chaos. Romantic chaos. Sophie Sierra may look polished on the outside, but fans are saying her love life is still one big, beautiful disaster waiting to happen. The reason this story is getting so much traction is because Sophie remains one of those cast members who instantly pulls people into a debate. She is glamorous, she is emotional, she is highly watchable, but according to a growing wave of fan reactions, she is also exactly the kind of reality star people no longer trust to handle romance without chaos following close behind. That is basically the energy flooding the conversation right now. The image making the rounds shows Sophie looking flawless, camera ready, and totally in control. But underneath that polished presentation, the comments tell a much harsher story. Instead of cheering her on, many viewers are openly asking whether she is even emotionally ready for a real relationship, and the answers are brutal. A lot of commenters are calling her immature, self-centered, high-maintenance, and more interested in attention than actual partnership. Others say she plays games, leans into victimhood, and pulls away the second things get serious. Some fans even argued that Sophie does not really want peace or stability at all. She wants intensity, validation, and the emotional rush that comes from messy romantic situations. Harsh? Absolutely. But that is the tone dominating this conversation. And of course, her past is still following her everywhere. Fans are dragging old relationship baggage right back into the spotlight, especially when it comes to Rob. Some viewers now claim Rob was painted as the villain, while Sophie walked away with more sympathy than she deserved. Others are pointing to newer storyline connections, including Pedro, and saying this season already proved she still does not know what she wants. Then comes the off-screen factor, which is making things even messier. There are fans claiming Sophie has already been posting with a new boyfriend, and whether that is fully clear or not, it adds fuel to the idea that the real story may be happening outside the actual episodes. And once viewers start believing that the on-screen romance arc is being overshadowed by social media breadcrumbs, the whole "will she find love" journey starts to feel less sincere. Another major theme running through the fan reaction is image. Comment after comment zeroes in on Sophie's appearance, the glam, the selfies, the filters, the polished aesthetic, and some viewers are using that to argue she is more focused on being seen than being understood. Fair or unfair, that perception is starting to shape her storyline in a big way. For some people, Sophie is no longer the girl trying to heal from heartbreak. She is becoming the cast member they watch with suspicion, side-eye, and very little optimism. And maybe the most damaging part of all is that the audience does not sound hopeful. They sound tired. A lot of comments say she needs therapy, maturity, or time alone before she even thinks about another relationship. When fans stop believing in the romance and start treating every new connection like another incoming disaster, that changes everything. The spicy twist here is that Sophie is still undeniably watchable, even while fans are dragging her. People may say she's not ready for love, but they're clearly still tuned in to see whether she proves them wrong, or crashes right into the next mess. Stick around, because the next relationship under fire may be even more doomed from the jump. Before this marriage even had time to settle in, fans were already writing the obituary. What is making this story hit so hard is how quickly the audience seems to have reached the same conclusion. This is not a couple dealing with one temporary issue. This is a couple exposing a broken foundation in real time. One viral discussion flat out asked who thought the marriage was doomed from the very beginning. And judging by the avalanche of responses, the answer was a lot of people. Fans are looking at Javon and Annalyn and seeing a relationship built on distance, assumptions, financial pressure, and two people who may never have truly understood each other before making it official. That is why the comment section feels so intense. People are not just criticizing their fights, they are questioning whether there was ever enough real compatibility to support the marriage in the first place. A huge chunk of viewers are siding with Javon. They say Annalyn comes across as harsh, controlling, impossible to please, and constantly critical. Some comments go even further, calling her abusive, rude, and more interested in being financially supported than emotionally connected. Others argue that she likes what Javon provides, but not Javon himself. That reading has fueled a lot of the outrage, especially among fans who believe he has been sending money, helping support her lifestyle, and maybe even carrying more of the burden than he realized. But this is not a one-sided sympathy wave. Plenty of viewers are turning the spotlight right back on Javon and saying he helped create this entire mess. Their argument is brutally simple. How do you marry someone you have never even met in person and expect real life to magically match the fantasy? Several fans pointed out that after years of long-distance buildup, finally being together should have brought clarity and closeness, but instead it seems to have exposed just how little they actually knew about how the other person lives, communicates, argues, and handles conflict. That is where the conversation gets really interesting. Some viewers think this is not just a bad romance, it's two competing fantasies colliding. They say Javon may have wanted an idealized version of a partner, while Annalyn may have wanted security and provision. And when those two expectations met actual married life, the result was resentment, tension, and a relationship that now feels cold instead of loving. Then there's the money angle, which keeps coming up again and again. A lot of fans believe finances are sitting at the center of the entire dynamic. Some say Annalyn is demanding too much. Others say Javon allowed this pattern to develop and is now shocked by the consequences. That split is why this story is getting so much traction, because viewers are not just asking who is wrong, they are asking who ignored the red flags first. The spicy part is that fans can't even agree on the villain, but they do seem to agree on the vibe: draining, combative, and emotionally exhausting. When viewers start describing a marriage with words like doomed, transactional, and empty, that's when you know the audience thinks the problem is deeper than one bad fight.